So, very warm welcome. We've got hearts in the mouths here. There's a few little technical errors, but Cheryl's pulled through on the text. So, yeah, very warm welcome from us here at Everspace in the heart of Brixton. So, if you don't know me, my name's Mike Trinara. I'm an order member with Triventner Buddhist Order and a teacher here at Brixton. And yeah, it'd be great for us to know, for me and Cheryl to know who's out there, where you are, so let us know and I can give you a shout out and say hello. So yeah, as always, we've got this two-part evening. So in this first part, we're going to be doing some meditations, doing some discussions, and in the second half, you'll have a chance to talk about how it's gone, talk about your own practice. So yeah, we've got now finally into this final week of the series. So we've got into the grand finale of what we really want and what's getting in the way. And I'm going to make this bold statement. We've been talking about the hindrances, things that kind of get in the way from these concentrated, absorbed, relaxed kind of states of mind. And the statement is really that if we're not in those states of mind, then there's a hindrance present. There's either craving, hatred, some sort of resistance to what's going on, anxiety, worry, or indecision, doubt. So what I'm really going to be emphasising tonight is that how important it is to recognise the hindrance as a hindrance. If we want to make progress, we need to be able to recognise the hindrance as a hindrance. So that we can, and hopefully we've been developing the tools to do that. We can recognise that hindrance as a hindrance, and we've got a chance to move into more interesting states of mind. I mean, I think it's really important to have confidence that there are more interesting states of mind. There's more higher states of mind that we can get into from where we are now. That's always available to us. It's really important to know that. So tonight we're going to be looking at doubt and indecision. So doubt and indecision in a way, doubt and indecision getting in the way of confidence, in the way of trust, in the way of kind of knowing that what we're doing is of benefit. Okay, and in a way, actually, it's often thought of as the more difficult of the hindrances to kind of notice and do something about. Okay, so I'll be talking more about that shortly. But before we do that, let's just kind of arrive, get ourselves settled in for the evening, no matter what kind of day we've been having, just getting settled in for the evening so we can just bring our full attention to bear. So yeah, just find yourself a comfortable posture on your chair, on your cushions, and trying to just sit with the legs kind of relaxed and with a nice upright posture. So if you're ready to, just closing your eyes. And now with your eyes closed, we're going to do this short breathing space. So we just notice what it's like now. Taking in the senses, taking in the sounds, sense of space around us, and the tactile sense of our body that we can feel. And where our body is contacting the ground, we can feel stronger sensations. No need to do anything about it, just feeling those sensations. And feeling our legs, the energy in our legs, the sensation in the legs. Feeling where the weight is dropping down through our sitting bones into the ground or into the cushion or the chair. And then just letting go. Just letting go of any holding in your legs. Any tension. Any gripping in the thighs and the hips. Letting go. Noticing the tummy, what it feels like in the tummy. If it's pleasant or unpleasant. Just taking some deeper breaths into the tummy, starting to let go, starting to soften any holding on in the tummy. Letting go. Feeling the body rising up. Noticing the area of the shoulders. Letting go in the shoulders. Softening any tension in the shoulders. And around the eyes, forehead. Whole face is relaxed. And then we feel our body breathing. You can feel your body breathing, movement of the rib cage and the movement of the tummy. No need to do anything about it, just feeling the sensations of breathing. Just calming down. Or just sitting at ease, feeling the sensations of the breath. And just letting them spread into all areas of the body. Infusing the breath into all areas of the body. And then broadening out again, taking in all the sounds around you, the sensations, the feeling of space around you. And then just noticing again the groundedness of your contact with the ground. And just being aware we're meditating with friends old and new, people spread out in different geographies here in Brixton and much further afield. All here together for this part of the evening. Meditating together. All right, good. You calm down as well, Cheryl, now? Everything good?
Thanks, yeah.
All right, let's see who's there. Okay, so it's quite night tonight. There's Cam. He says, take your time. Thanks, Cam. Where are you? You're in Ontario. Oh, that's great. London, Ontario. Oh, wonderful. There's Lowe's in Balham, a bit closer to home, and Joe in Tulse Hill. So, yeah, anyone else who's there, just, and here's Harriet. Oh, hi, Harriet. You're in Elephant Castle. Good to have you with us. Okay, so I'll have another look in a moment and see if anyone else is tuning in. Okay, so let's get into this subject of doubt and indecision. I was going to make a really bad joke there, but I pulled back at the last minute. So yeah, I won't be making my joke about doubt and indecision. But what I will put up there is this idea: can I, with all my problems that I'm having right now in my life, all the things that are going on in my life, can I get anywhere in meditation? Is this the right meditation practice for me? Am I doing the right thing? Is this the right thing for me to be doing now? Is this teacher, is he any good? This much, does he know what he's doing? And what's the point of all this? Why are we doing all this? Do we know why we're doing all of this? So these questions can they sound quite straightforward in a way, but it's all doubt and indecision. It's all doubt and indecision because it means we can't get on with our practice. We either haven't formulated the reason we're doing something or the way to get there. Yeah. So we're having doubt about, or we haven't clarified what we're trying to achieve, and we're having doubt about how to get there. Either one of those things. So it's a tricky one, this doubt and indecision, because of course it's natural to have sincere doubts about meditation, its results, if we don't know yet. If we don't know yet, it's bound to be uncertainty, isn't there? And that goes for anything. Anything we don't haven't thoroughly tried out, we don't know yet. And so some things do need to be found out by experience. But what this hindrance does is it undercuts the actual willingness to try. So it undercuts this willingness to take on trust that there's something worth doing here, worth following through on. And so we're shortcutting around. We're not experimenting for ourselves, and we're not finding out for ourselves. And the Buddha had a word for this, very beautiful word, ayapassiko. He said that this method that he taught was ayapassiko. That is the come and see method. Come and see for yourself. So I've got a little story I like this story. The Buddha's, as you know, but you might not know, he wandered around northern India teaching, and he came across a tribe called the Kalamas. And the Kalamas, there was lots of other wandering teachers, and the Kalamas have had their fill of lots of different wandering teachers, yeah, coming through, saying, no, it's like this, and kind of tearing down all the advice from the last teacher that had passed through. And they're just really confused. So this group of people really confused, and they asked the Buddha about this. And this is what he said. He said, it's right for you to doubt. Doubt has arisen in you about dubious matters. Come, Kalamas, do not rely on oral tradition. Do not rely on the lineage of teachers or on the Holy Scriptures or on some abstract logic. Do not place blind trust in impressive personalities or in venerated gurus, but examine the issue for yourselves. And when you know for yourselves that something is unwholesome and harmful, then you should reject it. And when you know for yourselves that something is wholesome and beneficial, then you should accept it and put it into practice. So I think that's really good, because he's saying, look, this doubt is normal, but you have to be willing to try and try for yourself to see, does this practice work? Okay. So yes, doubt and indecision as a hindrance. If I was to personify doubt and indecision, it'd be like really cunning. It'd be really cunning because it's those rationalizations that we weave, that we convince ourselves with, and we kind of get lost in, if you see what I mean, which create doubt and kind of undercut, pull the rug out from whatever we're doing. And they can be quite complex and compelling reasons, but what they amount to is a kind of unwillingness or reasons why we shouldn't commit ourselves in what we're doing. And of course, they just kind of like self-enforcing. So if we don't commit to a course of action thoroughly, we don't get anywhere, and then we're like, oh, I knew it, this isn't any good. So I've got some examples I'm going to use now to see if any of these are familiar, because we kind of need to, in a way, tune into our own experience of doubt and indecision. So in meditation, you might have an idea about this state of mind that you should be in. The state of mind that you should be in, and then you start meditating and your kind of experience doesn't kind of match what you feel you should be feeling, so you start to think it's not working. You start to doubt the practice. Should I do another practice? Should I just relax? Maybe it's not the right time of day, and so on. Or maybe just you just stop. Maybe you might just stop. But either way, you're going to just be caught in this kind of wavering mind. Yeah. So that's a kind of mismatch of some idea of where you want to be going and where you are, and then just this feeling like they don't match, and therefore something's not working. So it's really important to say that discomfort is not a good indication for something not working. I was asking my friends about this at dinner, guys I live with, and they were saying that it's a bit like going to the gym. If you haven't been for a while, it's just like really horrible. The first time you go to the gym, it's hard work, or the first time you've gone for a run when you haven't been for a run for a long time. That's not a good indication that it's not good for you, is it? So, and it's the same in meditation. Sometimes you just come into uncomfortable states, especially if it's been, kind of like an uncomfortable day, if you see what I mean, or a period, and that's just your mind that you're encountering. It's not a good reason for thinking that the meditation doesn't work. Quite the opposite. It's a good indication to turn towards that. So that's one thing. An idea that you should be in some great state that you were in last month in meditation and you're not now, and therefore using that as a kind of way of undercutting yourself. Another idea is that we get kind of half-hearted in in the practice that we're doing. We sit down to do the mindfulness of breathing, and then we think, oh no, actually I'm more in the mood for the metta bhavana. And you could say, well, what's wrong with that? You're working out what you need to do. But if you've set yourself on a course of action in meditation, if you then kind of move into something else, what will happen is it will create a kind of wavering in your mind, kind of muddiness, kind of discomfort in your mind, and then quite often you won't be able to settle to the other practice either. So it's very good to sit down, and this is what we're going to do in a meditation practice today. Work out what it is I'm trying to do, and then just set yourself up for doing it. And then, yeah, there's a last one, which is that you just sit down, your mind's really distracted, it's all over the place, and you just think, I can't do it. I can't do it. I've often heard, actually, people say, I've got a particularly distracted mind. My mind is particularly distracted, so I find it difficult to meditate. So this is the kind of doubt and indecision that makes you into someone kind of special, that has a specially distracted mind, which is especially resistant to meditation. So again, it's just another way, another compelling reason not to not to commit yourself to practice. So, as I said, doubt and indecision, if they were someone you knew, they would be crafty. They, like all the hindrances, they have like a tendency to avoid recognition. It's almost like the hindrances have their own built-in protection, a kind of emotional investment to not try it somehow. So as with all the hindrances, your mindfulness is the starting point. You need to, what's going on? What's going on now? And just turn towards that. My mind's particularly distracted, just turn into that. Just recognise that you're in restless and anxiety, or if you're in, if you're just feeling really resistant, that you're in resistance. You just got to kind of, with all of these hindrances, you just got to kind of recognise what's happening. And that's the starting point. Mindfulness is the starting point. And it's the starting point because these hindrances, they kind of really work under the radar. They work because they're unconscious, and they work because we're not recognising them as a hindrance. We're kind of lost in the rationale, so to speak. Yeah. But you recognise that hindrance, and you'll start to weaken it. It's kind of exciting in a way. You just need to recognise it. In Tibetan Buddhism, there's this wonderful vocative figure, Padmasambhava, and he has a tent peg stuffed into his waistband. Often it looks like an ice cream in the tankers, but it's a tent peg. And what it's for is for pinning down demons. It's for pinning down the hindrances, and so you can see what it looks like. You can say, oh, that's what it is. That's what doubt and indecision looks like. Yeah. So I really like that. He doesn't. It's not the imagery of kind of cutting off or suppressing, but it's just like holding it and seeing what's there. So this is mindfulness. Yeah. And then if we can see, if we can bring mindfulness to the hindrance, in this case doubt and indecision, we can start to remind ourselves automatically of our purpose, of what we're trying to do. We can recognise that this is not really like as pleasurable or an interesting a state as I can be in. So why don't I turn myself back towards the meditation? Kind of take responsibility for that. So all this is pointing to a kind of confidence. It's very interesting. When I first came along to a Buddhist centre, I remember talking to, it wasn't long before I was talking to, the man who ended up being my preceptor and giving me my name and my sadhana practice after I trained for ordination. But very early on he said, oh, you've got to develop a different type of confidence. It's not a kind of worldly confidence. It's a kind of trust confidence that you can develop, that you can change and that you can develop. And kind of there's tried and tested ways to do that, and one just needs to apply oneself to try that out for ourselves. It's Shraddha, very beautiful word, confidence, trust. And what it doesn't mean that we don't, yes, we do have these habitual patterns. We do, they will get in the way. But we're not uniquely flawed, special in our capacity for distraction. We can learn to navigate these obstructions. Tried and tested ways to do it. Cultivating confidence. Friendship with other meditators. This is why we're so keen on this second half, this discussion now. So keen on it. Because what an opportunity to actually discuss these regular blocks to meditation. Creating a confidence that you can be open about your shortcomings even and what's getting in the way, what goes on in our minds. You're just kind of open about that, and the people will hate us for it. In fact, we'll feel closer to them as a result, and that we can choose how we want to respond. We can start to gain confidence that we can make progress, and we can do that because we thoroughly investigate these practices and see the benefit in our lives, and we can see that, and we can check that for ourselves, the benefit in our lives. So we're going to try all this out. You don't need to remember anything I said. We're going to do the metta bhavana. We're going to do the metta bhavana. Interesting one, because some people say they don't get on with the metta bhavana, which is to, in a way, saying I can't open my heart. In a way, saying I can't open our heart. So it's kind of closing down that possibility. Can you see already the way we set ourselves up for meditation is already kind of undermining us. So of course we can open up our heart. You just have a look on a puppy video on the YouTube. We all have that capacity, don't we? So we're going to do the metta bhavana, and I'll do it. We'll do it in the 5 stages, and I'll guide us through those stages. So if you don't know the metta bhavana, that's absolutely fine. It's the opening of the heart in 5 stages. So I'll say what the stage is. Well, after I've rang the bell, when we get into the stage, I'll say what the stage is, and then I'll say a little reflection as to kind of set ourselves up to kind of in a way undermine doubt itself, to actually give us the capacity to really explore that stage fully for ourselves, get the most out of it. Okay, so let's do that. So I'll give you a moment to just set yourself up for a period of the metta bhavana. So setting ourselves up in a good posture. So that's quite upright and also at ease. Feeling our body, feeling the whole of our body. And feeling its connection with the ground. Just letting go in the legs, the thighs, in the tummy. Letting go in the shoulders, and the eyes and forehead and mouth. Calming down. And feeling those sensations present at the heart centre. Whether we feel closed, numb, or whether we feel relatively expansive and open, that's just a starting point, that's fine. The metta bhavana, the opening of the heart. So we're just going to reflect on the benefit of the metta bhavana. We all want connection. We don't want isolation. We want to be able to love and be loved. We don't want to be close to that. And we want to be able to feel for other people. Feel their pain and also just have a wish for their well-being. Our life's easier when we walk about with a wish for the well-being of the people we come in contact with. So settle in for a period of the Metta Bhavana. So in this first stage, we're feeling metta as it is from the inside, for our current situation, however we are now, whatever's going on, just being open, just being receptive. And we want to feel the benefits of this openness in our own experience. Positive emotion, that's what we want. For whatever is happening just in our lives just now. Whatever's happening in our heart just now. So just stay with it. Keep relaxing the body. Keep calming down and opening up to our spirits. Staying with it. There's no need to tense up, just staying with it, welcoming into the space a good friend, someone you have a close, loving relationship with, or an easy relationship. Just welcome them into the space. Getting a sense of them. What is the benefit of opening our heart to our good friend? That's obvious. Letting the metta affect you. Opening up to your friend, staying with it. And whatever's happening is fine. No need to doubt the practice. Just staying with this easy intention of opening. Opening up to our good friend. So no forcing. Staying at ease in your body. No need to tense up. Just letting your good friend go. Bring into mind somebody who you don't feel strongly about one way or the other. Whoever comes to mind, that's the right person. Welcoming them into the space. Who's this person? Trying to get a sense of them. What's the benefit of metta practice in relation to this person? It's obvious. To be open is a much easier state. Opening to this person. Opening to a sense of wishing them well. Staying with it. Trusting in the process. So no forcing, just staying at ease. No need to gear up, just relaxing, letting go of this person, bringing to mind someone that we're having some difficulty with right now in our lives. Bring them into the space, welcoming them into the space. Welcome into this loving space. Now, what's the benefit of feeling metta to this person? Oh, contraction is painful. It's a painful state. Can we let go? Stay with it. Staying open. Not forcing, just staying at ease. In the final stage, these people we've been spending time with, just feeling the field of metta surrounding you, your friend. It's so-called neutral person, an enemy, just all inhabiting this same field of metta, sphere of metta. And letting them go, just seeing if we start to expand out. Just relax, expanding the metta out. Including more and more people, more beings. All beings. And just now, wherever you've got to in the practice, just letting go of any effort at all you're making. Just sitting. Coming back to this solid sense of connection with the ground. Connection with all the other people meditating. This evening. You know we're not alone. Okay, good. So let's see who else, if anyone else has dropped in. Still time to put your name on there if you want. We're going to be transitioning through into the second half in a moment, but I'm just going to say a couple more words about what we're trying to do here in Brixton Buddhist community. There's just so much going on, isn't there? So much going on in the world, so much going on in our own hearts and minds. Sometimes, some days we just find it very difficult, very, very difficult was talking to my daughter the other day, and she said, I just wanted to stop. And I know that feeling, yeah. So how do we respond? How do we keep turning into that? How do we stop ourselves from shutting down? These are the practices that we have. This is the community that we have to do that with. And we're in the middle of making Jack's making a short documentary on a short video on the making of Monday night. So many people involved. Me and Cheryl are down here on a voluntary basis, but there's lots and lots of effort going in behind the scenes. Viranaga, our chairman, Lizzie, Jack, our technician. So they all need support, and if we financially support them to do all the work that they do, and we have to pay for the space, and all of that just takes it takes a lot of time, takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of finances, and we just want you to be part of what we're doing. So in pre-COVID days, we would have been inviting you down on to be part of the team, or to invite you down to events. But what we really need is you to help be part of the community and turning up. And one of the other ways is to help create the infrastructure for this community to thrive. So yeah, if you can give what you can, we're suggesting £10 wage or £5 unwaged. I'm sure Cheryl's put the links there in the chat. So that'd be really well received. We've got a new series coming up. A new series starting next week. I'm really excited about it. I've put a little promo video about it. It's called The Worldly Winds. It's about how we deal with praise. It's in a way it's what this series is based off. So the worldly winds, praise and blame, pleasure and pain, success and infamy. These are all the winds that kind of blow through our lives all day, all the time. And these hindrances that we've been just exploring, there are responses to that. There are responses to being in an uncertain, a changing world. So we're going to go right back now and look at these worldly winds, like look at these movements of change that move through our lives, a result of which we respond with these ways of either protecting ourselves or trying to get something, or being resistant, or whatever it is. Yeah. So the worldly winds, in a way, the basis for this whole series of hindrances. So yeah, really hope you can just join me for that, join the team for that, as we start off the exploration next week with a kind of overview, and then we'll be going into these various winds and how one can navigate those, to use a kind of nautical expressions, how we can kind of hoist the right sail and so on. My nautical expressions run out there, so I better leave that. So sailing the worldly wind starting next week, and Lizzie's also asked me to let you know that the Parinirvana video Dharma talk is up now on our website. So Parinirvana Day, if you don't know, was about the what this mysterious passing away of the Buddha. The Buddha was said not to be reborn, had undergone lots and lots of rebirths in order to become the perfected, enlightened mind that he had, and then that was his final birth. So what happens? So that's all explored. So the Parinirvana of the Buddha. So that's up on the YouTube channel. Okay, but for now, what I'd invite you to do is, just click on the link for the second half. Pam will be there just to invite you into the space. If you're new, just try it out. Don't worry about it. It's very friendly, really good way to strengthen your practice, make connections within the community. It's a really good thing to do, and we've shortened it up so you'll be finished by 9:15, so you still have a whole evening ahead of you. So just clicking on the link, and then Pam will invite you in, and then she'll give you a chance to get off and grab a cup of tea, a toilet break or whatever before you get started. Okay, so good. I hope you enjoyed the second half. I hope you enjoy your tea. From me and Cheryl, bye for now.